And the winner will take away $361,000 US. So Pete Sampras assured of another week at #1, even if he loses this match, because Patrick Rafter, of course, defending all the points from last year. He could have been overtaken by both Agassi and Kavalnikov this week, but their defeats in the semi-finals mean that Sampras is going to be #1 for a 273rd week.
Sampras, well, his initials say it as well. He's written a postscript to all the obituaries I've happened to say about him, including not winning Wimbledon, not perhaps beating Agassi in LA, not beating Krajicek here. He's had a tremendous postscript for all of them, because he's come through against his nemesis Krajicek, he's come through against his great rival Agassi to set up one of the matches of the year, surely.
As you can see, Sampras with the lead, but just look at the last three. Starting here, and here it's Rafter starting.
It looked to me as if Rafter had won the spin of the coin, elected to serve, and Sampras choosing this end.
Well, at the start of this match, Patrick Rafter had played 178 points on his own serve during the tournament and won 147 of them. Only lost 31 points on serve the entire championships. Faced just the one break point. And he starts with the love service game. Very impressive indeed from the defending champion. New tennis balls at 3-4. Lovely to see this stadium, which holds 10,600, packed to the gunnels. And Sampras ahead in the aces race, 3-1. Surprisingly, he was behind coming into the match, 27-33.
Yes, I think it's the best serving performance we've seen from Sampras so far at the beginning of a match. Famous last words.
Yes, cue 3 consecutive double faults. It's ironic, isn't it? The old curse of the commentators, we call it.
And as a result of that double, actually putting in a much slower first serve. I would imagine that's, well, is it a discussion with Anna Cohn? I wonder. Sampras is so much his own man. But certainly took a lot off.
Well, continuing to match each other, point for point. Both have now lost 3 points on serve. And in each case, they've come up with 1 double fault.
Well, always a significant breakthrough to annex that first point. Pressure on server. Bit of relief on the returner who feels he can hit out.
Two terrific backhands.
Well, we heard the national anthems sung before the match, and you can almost see the Star Spangled Banner now.
Plenty of support, though, for the Australian.
Well, the English cricketers many years ago in Australia used the body line tactic when they bowled at the Australian batsmen. Bounced the ball into the pitch up at them, and that one certainly rearing directly at Sampras's body.
Dernière seconde de la première mi-temps, Canizales peut dégager et chercher Claudio Lopez à la lutte avec Resinger.
Well, he middled that one nicely. And when it came off the racket, I'm sure he was thinking, oh, that sounds good. But just overhit it. Big effort from Rafter, a couple of aces, and he gets out of a love 30 situation and is ahead again. 5-4 in the opening set.
Sampras missed the backhand. Rafter had played a very good into-out volley. Sampras' return wasn't bad, and it was only the skill on the volley that made it just that little bit more difficult for Sampras, who felt as a result that he had to really hit flat out. And of course, as a result of hitting flat out, it was just out.
Pete on this wonderful streak. He's won his last 21 matches. And Rafter has had a marvellous time since going to Rome back in May. He's won 29 of his last 35 matches. After, by his standards, a pretty poor start to the year. But as Sampras was saying, those little clips we heard at the start of the match, Rafter always seems to be able to peak around about August time.
Yes, and it's not a sharp peak, isn't it? Is it? It's an extended peak, which he able to take over a few weeks.
A little bit of added pressure for Sampras as he serves to stay in the set at 4-5.
Having to reduce, of course, the speed when he goes for that angle one. He's getting quite a bit more spin on it. It's not the flat serve, the faster serve that he serves straight down the middle.
Correction, ball's good. 30 down.
The overrule from Norm Christ. After at first was going to walk, and then he just made a comment en passant.
Conditions certainly a lot fierier today. The balls seem to be flying a bit more.
Well, 2 aces and a double in this game so far.
Rafter's exercising his mind and not a lot else. Tension quite electric. Well, I mentioned the fact that Rafter gets down so well to his volleys. He's able to conjure up strength from a weak position, and sampras certainly doing that there. Just beginning to make some telling returns now, sampras. Second successive game, he's won the first point on the rafter serve. Another reason why I'm surprised he's not wearing a hat is I notice he's getting a little thin on top, Mr. Sampras. Hence his maturity at press conferences now. Well, that's why you've never matured. You've still got a full head of hair. That's that boyish. And he must have been startled to get a shot on the forehand, and Rafter startled but showing how terrific his reflexes are with the net cord. Well, you have to feel for Rafter. He did so well to stay in that point, and then the net cord robs him of it. I love the little smile from sampras. I'm sure partly acknowledging the fact that this is a net he ought to take home with him. Still haven't had a juice game in this opening set, which is moving rapidly towards a tie-break. But first, sampras must hold serve. 6-5. He's written a postscript to all the obituaries I've happened to say about him, including not winning Wimbledon, not perhaps beating Agassi in LA, not beating Krajicek here. He's had a tremendous postscript for all of them, because he's come through against his nemesis Krajicek, he's come through against his great rival Agassi to set up one of the matches of the year, surely.
As you can see, Sampras with the lead, but just look at the last three. Starting here, and here it's Rafter starting. And the winner will take away $361,000 US. So Pete Sampras assured of another week at #1.
It looked to me as if Rafter had won the spin of the coin, elected to serve, and Sampras choosing this end.
Well, at the start of this match, Patrick Rafter had played 178 points on his own serve during the tournament. Even if he loses this match, because Patrick Rafter, of course, defending all the points from last year. He could have been overtaken by both Agassi and Kavalnikov this week, but their defeats in the semi-finals mean that Sampras is going to be #1 for a 273rd week.
Sampras, well, his initials say it as well.